If you clicked on this video, you're probably contemplating getting into high ticket sales. Really quick, to define high ticket sales, I'm talking about 1099 remote sales jobs, usually either setting appointments or closing the appointments. This can be a super lucrative opportunity, especially if you have sales experience, just as any other 1099 sales job is. Think solar, pest control, insurance. There's people in all of these industries, including the high ticket industry, making a lot of money really fast. It's not always the case, but you see these kids go out for the summer, knock doors, come home with 70 grand. Life changing. You can do that in high ticket sales too. It's not as summer dependent or season dependent, but you can sprint to get to a lot of money if you get into the right opportunity in high ticket sales. Now, that being said, while there's super high upside, there can also be super high or super low downside, let's call it. And for that reason, I do not think this is for everybody. And in this video, I'm going to share exactly who I do not think this is for. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Dylan. I've been in this industry now for a little over 3 years. I've helped over 500 people break into these jobs. I built a sales agency to 30 reps and sold it earlier this year in the high ticket niche, doing millions a month in client revenue, managing all the sales teams. People that I've had in my community have directly gone on to make $50,000 per month plus in commissions. More commonly, good success stories are like 10, 15, 20, even 30 in some cases. Now, here's the rundown. And I'm not saying if these things are true to your situation that you cannot do this. I am saying that you definitely want to evaluate everything and make sure that you are doing this safely and you are minimizing downside at any point wherever you can. So the very first thing that comes to mind when you're considering high ticket sales where maybe it's not for you is if you have a lot of overhead in your personal life. Now, that can look a lot of different ways for everybody. If you have a family that fully relies on you financially to survive, that right there is a serious consideration for any 1099 sales job. In 1099 sales jobs, their best case scenario is the sky. You can make however much. Worst case scenario is zero. And not just zero, it's actually negative because you can waste time in the wrong roles. And time is money, especially when you're used to earning money. So if you have people that rely on you financially, you have overhead, you have a lot of overhead, you have a big mortgage payment, you got car payments, you have mouths to feed. My best recommendation, everyone's situation is different. Look at how much money you have saved up. Look at how much time you're currently spending doing what you're doing. Look at how much money that's bringing you in. Assess the situation and act accordingly. Yes, you can do this part-time. Yes, you can start in the DMs, which is more flexible than phone setting or phone or remote closing through Zoom. That is the most common one, I would say, is you have a lot of expenses. 1099 sales, once you get going, can be completely fine. In the beginning, it can be bumpy. The next thing, I won't elaborate too much on this one because I don't think it applies to a lot of you guys, but if your English is not good, you're going to have a more difficult time, both written and spoken English. If it's not good, you're going to have a more difficult time. Now, if your English is good, but you have a really thick accent, I'll be honest, it depends on how thick the accent is and what kind of accent we're talking about. A lot of these companies are US based. There's tons of people in the US with accents. That's completely fine. If you have one of those accents though that nobody can understand or hardly anybody can understand, it's a struggle in your day-to-day life. It's going to be a struggle on sales calls and sales conversations. My advice to you, practice, get better, or just go try something else. The third thing I would say, building on the first thing, if you are looking for stability, if you're assessing opportunities by top pieces of criteria, and one of those top pieces of criteria is stability for one reason or another, just go get a 9-to-5. Go get a job where you have a base pay and an hourly salary. Yes, once you break in, once you get going, this can be stable. But if someone's going to tell you that this is the most stable option, this is a really viable, stable option, dude, if we're just being real, in the grand scheme of things, 1099 remote sales jobs are some of the most unstable jobs. And that's okay because of the upside if you're in the right position to take that on. If you're in a position where it's like, dude, I need to take home at least $8,000 per month or I'm freaking screwed, you can get there, absolutely, but you're probably not going to start there. At least most people don't. Here's another thing. Number 4, just like any kind of sales job, honestly, but if you don't have a good level of self-accountability and discipline and you need someone to be micromanaging you and looking at your stuff every single day, one of the beautiful things about remote high-ticket sales is the autonomy that can come with it in the right opportunity. Now, again, if you're the person that can't handle that, you're going to struggle because these teams aren't having daily morning meetings. Some of them will, not all of them. Most of them don't. You're remote. There's no pressure from being in office where you see everyone working, so then you want to work. You could lay in your bed all day and it's not going to be a problem until they realize that you're doing that, and then you're fired. So if you have a problem doing what you know you need to do, you need a little bit more support than doing that. 1099 remote high ticket sales, maybe not for you. Here's another good one that I see sometimes. If you're looking for a lottery ticket, well, after building in this space a little bit, you can get to really, really good earning months. Coming into high ticket sales and expecting to make $30,000 in your first month is ludicrous. That's right, I said it, ludicrous. Has it happened before? Absolutely, yes. Super rare. 30,000 in your first month, super rare, but let's just say 10,000 your first month. If you're coming into this and you're like, dude, I'm only gonna do this, this is only gonna be worth my time if I make 10,000 in my first month, just go do something else. And anybody who guarantees that to you, they guarantee a job placement into this where you're gonna make this much money, and it's a lot of money, fraudulent. The guaranteed placement stuff, actually, that brings us into the next one. Guaranteed placement. If you're coming into this looking for a guaranteed placement, that's tough, man. That's really tough as a business owner. A lot of times it looks like them putting a square peg in a round hole. How many of those relationships actually go on to last and be fruitful for both parties? Super rare. There's a lot of people who offer guaranteed placement, but it's contingent on some crazy stuff. I've tried it before. I've done it successfully in some cases, unsuccessfully in many others. So if you're coming into the high ticket industry and expecting someone to do all the work for you and expect them to care more than you do about your own future, ludicrous. Here's another thing. If you're currently working a job or you currently have commitments that take up a majority of your working hours Monday through Friday, or you're working 60 hours in a job that you can't step away from. The interview and application process in this industry takes time, obviously, just like any industry. But if you're in a position where it's like, I can't quit this job, but I want to do this on the side, DM setting is going to be your best option. But to be a phone setter, to be a remote closer that takes Zoom calls or Google Meet calls, you have to have time to do that. And if you work 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., that is going to be tough. Yes, there's teams that look for talent in the evenings. There's teams that look for talent on the weekends. But it is so much easier if you can give regular working hours to these companies to get hired. So much easier. Piggybacking off of that, another reason, I forgot what number we're on. If you're expecting the laptop on the beach lifestyle, get lost, man. It can be that, again, but we're looking at top 1% of cases that are like that, where you genuinely take 1 or 2 calls per day on the beach and you make $10,000 per month. These are sales jobs. If you've ever been in a sales job, they take work, they take time, effort, dedication, and there are absolutely roles out there where you work not that much and you make a lot, but you're not going to start there. And there's no guarantee that you ever get there. So you have to be willing to work. You have to be willing to outwork people. If you're looking for some sort of like laptop on the beach lifestyle thing, a sales job is probably not for you. Have you guys ever taken a call outside in the summer when it's hot outside? How long does your laptop last? I've actually seen people in the middle of summer, man, at the apartment pool, midday, 90, 95 degrees, 100 degrees, in the pool with the laptop on the side. Dude, that laptop's gonna overheat in 15 minutes. Cut that shit out. It's corny. So it takes work, you guys. Don't get into this if you're looking for something to put in super little work and get a ton out of it. I think this will be the last one. We've talked about work, we've talked about hours. I'm letting you guys know this is not some infinite money glitch lottery ticket deal. But if you do not have the mindset of figuring shit out when it needs to be figured out, in any sales job, you're gonna struggle. Why you always see these huge entrepreneurs attribute so much of their success to getting into sales or learning sales at the ground level is because sales is genuinely one of the best stepping stones into entrepreneurship. Why is that? Because there's the accountability component. You're dealing with customers. You're dealing with the rest of your internal team. You're on the front lines. You're seeing what the marketing's doing. You're really getting a pulse on the product, what you're selling, how the people feel about it, everything. So if you can't think, act, or speak like an entrepreneur who gets shit done, who handles their own business, sales is probably going to be hard for you, but 1099 sales, even harder. The best people I know in this industry take matters into their own hands, always. That's how they close deals. That's how they get promoted. That's how they get into better and better and better opportunities and make more money. They take initiative. you can't take initiative, go be in marketing or something. I think that's where we're gonna wrap up the video. You guys, some of those reasons overlapped 100%. Remote high ticket sales is a great option for you if it's a great option for you. Just being real, most people are not cut out to succeed in this. It is marketed far and wide as the best business model ever. And I do stand by the fact that if you are looking for an opportunity to excel your income and gain leverage and make something of yourself, this is a good field to do it in. But a lot of people will tell you all that, but they don't tell you about the downside. They don't tell you about the ugly stuff. They let you go and figure that out for yourself. And then when you go back to them and you're like, what the hell, dude? You didn't tell me about that. They're like, sorry. How's your guaranteed placement? Oh, they fired you? That sucks, man. Good luck. So sales changed my life. Getting into 100% commission-based sales changed my life, dude. I was able to make my first 6 figures and beyond at a really young age, earlier than a lot of the people that I know. And I was able to build upon that and do some of the things that I told you about earlier in the video. With this industry, sales training doesn't get you hired. I have tons of videos on that. I don't care if you did 1 hour or 100 hours of sales training. If you're not the best candidate, you're not getting hired. I don't care how many role plays you did, how much you spent on courses. If you're not the best candidate, you're not getting hired. If you're not one of the first applicants, your chances are going severely down. If your resume is ass, you are getting skipped. Focusing on what it takes to actually get the job is what gets you jobs, and having proximity to those jobs. Now, in June of 2025, last month, we posted 264 open high ticket sales roles. I am extremely confident that there is nobody else in the industry who is posting that many sales jobs on a regular basis. May, we posted 237. April, we posted 215. We've been doing this for years. Now, before that, we weren't posting as many. We brought in a partner who's helping us. But if you work on all the stuff that actually positions you to be the best applicant, and you get first dibs on these roles because you hear about them sooner, you get more of them sent to you, there's no reason you should struggle to land a role in this space. Just make sure you set the proper expectations when you come in around what is possible in this industry and what you can expect based on all things considered about your past, which is a thing that we work on in my community. And you'll have a good time, man. If you're at all interested in that, go to the playlist on my YouTube channel. I'll actually link it at the end of this video. I have a playlist of 45 one-on-one interviews with people who have been in my sales community that focuses on getting jobs, high ticket 1099 remote sales jobs. Just go watch them. I'm not a huge fan of filming testimonials with people when they land a job, when they close one deal. Most of those testimonials you see on there are going to be with people after they not only landed a job and closed a deal, but made their first $10,000 in a month, made their first $20,000 in a month, made however much in a day. It's so easy to win in the high ticket industry from my position, because if you just have morals, ethics, and you're willing to do the boring work longer than most people, you're going to outlast everybody. Most of the people that started doing things similar as me when I started it a little over 3 years ago, they're nowhere to be seen because all those guaranteed placements, all those crazy income claims came back to bite them in their ass. People join our thing, my community, because we tell it how it is. We always have. I actually am not aware of any negative reviews, anything online downplaying what I do, who I am, because we got morals and ethics, dude. This is not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's not super copy and paste, but with the right guidance, it's not rocket science either. So if you watch this video and you watch through all these reasons you shouldn't do high ticket sales and you're like, yeah, not me, not me, not me, I still want to do it. Sure, you can go watch some Alex Hormozi sales training on YouTube, join some free Facebook groups, apply to all those jobs with 10,000 other people, or you can just work with us, go through our process, become the best applicant, have the job sent inbound to you, and not waste your time, and get into something that's actually good that we help you vet. The Serial Sales Community, first link in the description. You apply, book a call with, if you pass the application, you'll book a call with my guy Diego. Super solid guy, was in California, made 10K in his first month, not a standard result. Ended up moving to Texas in Austin with some other people who also did the same. And he's living, breathing proof of what this can be. He came from a banking background. He was like banking associate or something, not sales. Broke in, crushed it. I think he's done a 15K month now, or just under 15K. So you'll talk with him. He'll show you the ropes. He'll show you how we do everything. Lay it out, all the bells and whistles. Not gonna sell you a dream, but he'll hold you accountable if you need it. That's all for this YouTube video, you guys. If I saved you a lot of headache and misery by letting you know some of the ugly sides of 1099 sales, you're welcome. If I let you know all these things and you're like, dude, I want to do this even more, first link in the description, book a call with our team, and we hope to see you soon. This next Sunday video is going to be a good one. Getting the hang of the new camera here. Tune in, take you guys behind the scenes. Till then, peace out.